Hey guys, it's FallenDice, and welcome to episode 16 of FallenDice Plays Better Than BuildCraft. As you can see, I've been doing a little bit of adjustment here in this entry area. Um, Again, I'm trying to do something with it. I didn't want to clog it up with machinery or anything like that, because this is kind of like my entrance, so I've just been tweaking. So, number one, instead of the open drop, I use glass panes to, kind of make a drop zone. I think that looked kind of cool. I also took out my stairway. So now on either side here, we have a rope suspended by anchor. I can both go down to my storage, which we still need to work on, or I can take this all the way up to the fourth floor, which is where we'll be working today. Of course, as we're going up, can get off at each of the floors, which is kind of the cool thing about this. And if you get in between them, you can't go too far left or right. So um, it's kind of cool. It's not a ladder, but it's a little different. I still have a stairway taking me up to the roof in case I need access to that. I just didn't want to run the rope with the anchor all the way. Um, Also, as you can see over there, I've been toying with a few different design styles for this. I like how the trees kind of turned out in the spacing with the extra spacing, so I think I'm going to leave those. Question then is what material to use. So I'm leaning towards the sandstone, and I kind of like how I have like this little sand surrounding the tree itself. Not sure if I'll do anything specifically with the wood left in here. Kind of tweak it as we go. This would be the end stone. Over here we had the nether brick. Over here, this is our slab, our stone slab. And then, of course, our stone brick. Both of those are kind of similar coloring. And then over here, we have our logs. Let me know what you guys think. I'm not saying this is a complete vote, like whatever you guys all decide I'm gonna do. I still, let's say I own the tiebreaker, and my vote's a little bit weighted, but we'll see. I mean, if everybody kind of leans towards something, then I might look at it again. But I really kind of think I like the way the sandstone looks. And maybe what I'll do inside here is when the uh, Better Than BuildCraft upgrades or updates to the 1.2.4 and I can get the different colored planks, maybe I'll just put a different colored plank in here. I think that'll be kind of cool. And I think, and also what I'm going to end up doing is going around here. Maybe we'll run it all the way across here. And then, and as I run out, we'll make kind of like a raceway going around as well. And then I'll have to come up with something cool to do in the middle here. Maybe some kind of like Zen garden. Something with reeds and water and... Yeah, it's not going to be anything that is usable. I want something aesthetically pleasing, something that looks cool. Just as kind of when you walk in on your way to the upper floors. So let me know what you think. Put in my comments which one of these styles you prefer. Let me know too if you like the idea of like the little sand going around it to kind of tie it in. Um, but yeah, so that's that. Our next thing is going to be upstairs, but before we do that, let's head over to my flat test world again because I got a couple things to talk about and show as well there before we start to build our tree farm. Alright, we're back. Again, this is what we're building, although I have a feeling I am going to be building it a bit different than how it turned out here, just because since then I've definitely had some interesting and cool ideas. But one of the reasons I'm here is this. You know, the more I'm getting into the pipes and using that to divert things, I started to wonder exactly what actually you can take stuff out of. So I figured I would put, one of everything here that I might ever, you know, want to use. And did I... Alright. And then do like a test to see, will it work? And I'm happy to say that it does. Every single item here, or I should say every single container here, can have items drawn out of it, which gives us some new options and possibilities, especially with like our what the heck am I thinking of? The automatic crafting table. So we come over here, flip the switch here, and it took me a sec to realize that, but these have to be powered with pumps. So you'll see over here, it's drawn it all out. For some reason it's not coming out of this one, and I know I had it working before. And I know it does work, and it actually was annoying me because I was trying to set it up to have something going into here, cobble coming in, have some coal here cooking it, and then, the glass coming out, but the cobble kept popping into here and stopping the process. But, with that said, I can at least do this. So why are you not working out? There you go. Okay. I was about to say, man, I know it worked earlier. So we can use the pipe or the pipe system coming off of our ovens to sorry, furnaces, ovens. Oh, come on. All right, off of our furnaces to take the product to our destination. Now this works all right, but it could definitely work better. Obviously we know we can take stuff out of our chests. This one was cool because we got our block dispenser, so if we have something, and I actually use this, so I'll show this in a little bit. Did find a way to use this as a cool new invention. But also with our stewing pot and our crucible. And the crucible is cool because the crucible will also turn our sand into glass, and it will also turn our cobble into stone. And as you can see, there's a whole lot more spaces in here for, well, never mind. I was thinking, that we could put it in here, and as it turned to stone, it would suck out, but unfortunately, there's no way to tell this thing which item to pull out. And that'd be cool if I could set it to just pull out the finished stuff, but anyway, I am going to do something like this, though, just for smelting all my cobble. Because you can see, I can put so many more blocks in here instead of one at a time going to each one of these. I mean, this makes the number of furnaces that makes up is amazing. So I'm definitely going to plan on doing something like that, because I was over here as I was doing some testing. It's like just setting it up with like the 9 over here. I mean, the amount that you could do this with, it'd be cool. All I had to do is turn it back on, is put the redstone torch back on. It'll stoke my fire again. And now as you can see, each one of these turning cobble into smooth stone. So this small little space here is the same as 9 furnaces. Now it won't do more work than, say, the 20 or 30 furnaces I have set up in my storage room. But the thing is I can put in, a lot of stone in each one of these, or cobble in each one of these, and fill it halfway up, and it'll go for longer while I'm doing other stuff. So when I come back, I'll get more work done. We'll come back to this in a sec, because I'm going to kind of go over this one more time before we actually build it, just to explain everything. But the thing about this was, as you come down to my chest here, see, I've got a bunch of wooden planks, got a couple golden apples, some sawdust, some saplings, but I have no logs. With the saws, I don't get logs. Oh, that's right, I was going to destroy this. I did some testing, and I found out that 6 high, they will grow so much faster. They still can't get the super tree. They can grow in 5, But they can grow in 5, but for some reason, if you have 6 bases, they grow so much more often. So I'm definitely gonna use that in my design. But like I said, with what we got going here, I don't get logs. And I could go out and cut logs down, and I probably still will, because this turned into a bit more than I was thinking it was going to, but it does work. So what we got here is our dispenser block here is filled up with saplings. Whenever one of these grows, the leaf up here will set off our detector block, and what that's going to do is it's going to send a signal around that I've got inverted here. So when there's something in front of it, it's going to turn off all 4 of our dispenser blocks, and they're all being powered by having the repeater go directly into the one dispenser, and that also powers the one below it. It powers the block. So, and I did that in both these places, so I've only got power going into 2 areas, but it does do that. And I have a delay on here so that it takes a while before they suck after they suck it in, before they will push the trees back out, which gives our intakes long enough to suck the log out. So what ends up happening here is when this thing grows, these are turned off. They suck the block in front of them, which happens to be a log. So all 4 of the logs will get sucked in, and before it has a chance to power back on, and actually, you know what? That was my original earlier ones. That was when I had the detector on here. It won't actually push the blocks back out again until the leaf block decays. So it's guaranteed. The problem I was having was the top block sometimes would suck in before the other blocks, and then it would leave logs still sticking out in front of these ones, and so this could never grow again, and that would be a bad thing. So now I have it set up so that it won't depower again or power again. It won't reverse. It's going to suck the blocks in, and it won't try to put anything back out until after this leaf up here decays. And then, of course, once that happens, this has a little bit even longer delay, but these will try to push out a block, but there's nothing to push out, so nothing happens. Then this one will push out our sapling, which will get planted, and wait for the next time around. And I know it sounds complicated, and I don't think I'm going to build it because, like I said, well, you know, I may anyway. It does take 5 dispenser blocks and a detector block, so it takes a bit of resources. So we're talking about 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We're talking about 12 solarns just to build this, just to get some logs, which I could go down and chop with my timber mod. But it is kind of cool. So we'll go down here and I'll show you this in action. Okay. As soon as it grew, got sucked in. If we come around the back here, you can see all the logs are getting sucked out the back, and they get sent down to our waiting chest. Come over to here, and you'll see that there's nothing inside of them. Over time, the leaves will decay, and of course I could always help it out. And as soon as that leaf here goes away, we plant our next tree. And then as soon as, of course, it grows again, same thing happens. The reason I'm using the lightstone or glowstone here was I was trying to do a few other things, and one of which was going through. I ended up changing my design, but as you can see, you can now put glowstone on top of, or I'm sorry, redstone on top of glowstone. And technically, if this wasn't a repeater but actually redstone, it would actually go up into there as well, because that's the other cool thing, is it's still considered a glass block, so it's still transparent, so it doesn't cut off the signal. So it's kind of a cool new super block. I don't know if they're going to fix it or not, which is why I try not to do too much designing using that. We'll call it a bug, because it probably is a bug. But it is something that we could do. So I may build 1 or 2 of these and leave room to build a few more. and build like one row of those, because again, like a lot of my other stuff, I don't think I have to have super high yield. It just needs to continually function, and while it's continually functioning, we'll continue to reap the benefits. And then over time we'll end up getting a pretty decent supply. As you can see, it's pretty quick now. So it's just a normal growing. I may do, nah, I don't need to. I got the light enough here. What I may end up doing though, is like leaving the gap down the center here, just so I have access to walk through. I don't like not being able to get through this thing. Alright, but anyway, so while we're here, let's quickly go over this, because this is what we're planning on building. Again, what this was here was to show that in a 5-block space, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a tree could grow. However, I am planning on going to 6 blocks now, but in 5 it is workable. Over here, I showed how the system worked. Again, what we wanted to do here is when this thing grows, the detector block will detect the wooden log, and it's going to send a signal down, which is being inverted here. So when it detects something, it's going to turn off the power to our 2 dispenser blocks. And the reason I set it up this way is because I want them to go off at different times. So the first thing that's going to happen is this, without any delays, is going to retract the block in front of it, which means that any of the wood that gets cut down isn't going to get stuck on top of this block. It'll fall down where the water can carry it away. As you saw what I was doing over there, as soon as the tree grows, the wood block or the grass block disappears and allows everything to sail down into our waiting pipes. The second thing is after 6 ticks of delay, or actually 8 ticks, sorry, this one will then retract. But before it can actually suck any of the wood blocks or the sapling or anything back in there, the saws over here are going to cut all the wood blocks, so there will be nothing for it to suck back in. Once the wood block in front of the detector is gone, our redstone signal goes away. So once again, as we have got the delay here, this one is going to happen first, so it's going to put out our grass block, and then a few ticks later, this one will put out a sapling. This one's not set up with the saws. The saw's over here, so you can kind of see it here. So, and did I make this one 6 yet? 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't think I did. I'll make it one more higher just because definitely seems to grow faster. I spent forever trying to do it when it was only 5 high, and it didn't go very often. And even in this case, trees aren't a very effective use of bone meal. Even with the right height and everything, you sometimes have to go through quite a bit to get one to grow. And then every now and then it'll just start messing up again. But there we go. But anyway, the reason why this is offset again, obviously, is to be able to feed it. And technically, coming from this side, I didn't need to offset them here anymore. And it's the same thing over here. I don't need to offset them here either. It's just when they're coming in. So like I said, there's a few design aspects that I'm going to change from what I've done here to what we actually do upstairs. But, yep. So that's some more BuildCraft knowledge today. One other thing too, and I think I'd mentioned before that, you know, as long as there was something to do, you know, these wood engines wouldn't blow up. And I tried to do a test. I let this thing run for like 4 hours. Even with nothing attached to it, nothing going through it, and nothing for it to go into, it still doesn't blow up. I'm not sure what causes these things to blow up or when they might blow up. Because again, over here, nothing inside here, nothing over there. And they're both doing the exact same. So I feel fairly confident comfortable with this design here. As you can see how I've got it going into here. And just to show to you the modularness of it, there's 5 spots between here. So if we were to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and drop this, this would end up being that one again. So, you know, we'd have that there, that there. And this one here would be powering the engines on this side, and this one here powering over there. So that's, it's on, there's only going to be like 6, each one is only going to take up 6 blocks. So it doesn't actually take up as much as it looks like it does, because you can see over here it's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The only place it actually goes to 6 is on the bottom, and over here on the right it's not. So it's not going to interfere. Redstone won't be touching, so I can basically put them boom, 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 boom. I could probably fit more of these than these, or how much? No, this was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, no, never mind. But I'll still be able to fit a few of those upstairs. So that is the plan. I'm gonna do some tweaking, playing upstairs, figuring out my spacing, and then I will come back in and show you how I've chosen to do my design. So I will see you guys upstairs in the factory in a moment. Alright, so we don't have a lot of visual to see work done, but I spent probably a good half hour, 45 minutes going over the mechanical power and routing it differently. First off, I didn't want to actually have to redo a whole water wheel up here, so I took the water or the power from downstairs, and then instead of using all the staggered and lots of space, I was able to get it into a 4-high block in a 1x5 space. Height not being an option, which means all I'm going to do is lose 1 spot to grow trees, whereas on the other one I think I lost 2 or 3. Plus I have the ability to walk through the center now. I'm going to have this center here open. I got this here, and I'll have a 1-space walkway all the way around it. So I'm going to be able to get inside and tweak and maneuver if I need to and have access. And then instead of having this 2 spaces deep like it was over there was no reason for that. So I can have it just kind of like this, and it'll just be a full wall of mechanical power coming out, hitting the gearbox here, and then going back in to where our saws will be right here. So I think it'll look better. It'll take up less space, which means it'll fit in here better, and I think it's just going to look a lot better. So, if you're curious to see how I did that, I have power running underneath for that first one to come up on this first block, and then this one goes over and it goes up 2 spaces. The initial one comes up 3 spaces and goes over there, and then it also goes up over the top and comes back down. So you almost was able to do it in 4 blocks, but it ended up going to 6. But I think it's pretty compact. So now the goal is to I shouldn't say goal. We're just going to do it. We're just going to start setting up our actual farms here. I'm gonna have to go make a bunch of saws, craft some more detector and dispenser blocks, and then I'll come back over here and we'll start setting this up. Alright, so we made some good headway here. I've got my 6 stations set up. So right now these are all wired. As soon as the gets a charge, this will push out whatever's inside of it, which will be our sapling. And then when this detects something, it will suck in the soil. Well, I still have yet to set up my saws yet, but I was just showing off where we are right now. And these will go that way and that way, and as you can see, I still have my access inside. The water will be on this side, so I put a pressure plate to keep it from getting in the back and then interfering with the redstone, but I still want to be able to kind of walk through here without having to, it's going to be through water, without having to jump. And this will, like I said, this will be where the saws are going to be facing right here. So it's only going to be this wide, and we'll probably have one and then going this way. So I think it's only probably going to go out to about here. So it took up a lot less space than I did in my initial one, just in the way I did this. Alright, so I have our first half done. And we'll come over to the side here. Got our saws sawing away. Jump up, block on, blocks back. So these first three are now fully functioning. So we just need to run these next three. And then we can start working on the second side here and then deciding how we're going to make it viewable. Because I've tried to kind of like a theme, I guess, but you know, I like to be able to look in and see what's happening. So I want to come up with some kind of way to see inside here and do it in a cool looking way. So, well, anyway, back to work, and I'll come back when I got a little bit more progress done. Alrighty, so we're done with the moving the mechanical power across the second side. What I did is make sure that I have access through both sides now, so I can put doors on either side. How I ended up doing that was running the power underneath the floor here. I'll still be able to put water across it and it won't affect it. And then the same thing over here with the middle. Instead of running it across here, I took it under there. So I'll be able to transit back and forth from either side in the two ends and down the middle. So it'll make it easier for me to get at my the guts and innards if I need to. And now we can go like that, and I need to make more saws. Ugh. I also have all my particles turned off just because with the amount of mechanical power running in here, it definitely makes it more challenging. But yeah, so I'm thinking I'm probably going to put like a viewing window. This entire side here, all the way over to there will be like a viewing window on either side. And we'll see, I may do something along here as well, maybe towards the middle. As I figure out exactly how large this is going to be, I'll think about that. Alright, so the back side is put in. So all of our setups are now wired up, hooked up, ready to go. Our only problem now is how are we going to collect our goodies. And I wanted to do something along the lines of having everything come to here, but with the way it's set up and how I'm going to have to place the water to make this work, I just think it's going to be easier to send it just all the way down to one end. Which case, I think I'm probably going to send it down to, what's either going to be there or here. If I send it down to here, where I think my main viewing window will be, which is why I put that and that, just so I wouldn't see the back sides. Can see it all coming down this way and collecting, so I think that'll be kind of cool. And then I'll just have to run it underneath here, back up there, and eventually get it over here to our main drop-off point again. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So before I put the water, I should run my pipe and get that part set up. So I guess I'll go ahead and get working on that, and I will be back shortly. Alright, so we got our hole dropping down into the rest of our holes. And I had to go one down, which like I said, I'm probably going to have to raise up the floor here to conceal it. But you can't tell it's anywhere over here because it goes underneath the pavement, or I shouldn't say the pavement, but the stone brick. And then over here, it goes underneath our wood. So now, if I go and get buckets, I'll start placing the water from down here. And the way that I made this work in the my single player, and I'll do it here as well, so I put it down there, so it's gonna, you know, each the corner here, and then I'll go over here and put in that corner and all the way down there, so it's always pushing that direction. So, alright, let's go get my water. And as soon as I've got the water going, I'm going to go ahead and put my saplings in, and then we'll go ahead and turn this thing on. And then while I finish prettying it up and stuff, we'll see how many trees we actually get. So, alright, cool. See you in a bit. Well, looks like we're back to piping all the way down the center here. Keep getting still spots, or spots where it's kind of pushing upstream, downstream. So what I'm going to have to do is on those spots we'll put the purple pipe so it will accept the items coming in, and then a directional to make sure it only goes the one direction, and then just regular transport pipes for the rest of the way down. Alright, so may not be the prettiest. Had to use more than a few obsidians for the collection of the different stopping or blocking points. Using blocks underneath helped the flow a little bit. In addition, had to use the directional to make sure that the items continued on the correct path. But as of now, we have a successful pipe path heading out, taking us all the way around and dropping us down in our collection point downstairs. And to verify that, I should have quite a bit of piping down there actually. So we'll go down and take a peek real quick. Why are you not? Oh. No. I guess it hasn't gotten to here yet. We'll wait here a sec for it to get here. Actually, now that I think about it, I have the pipe heading down, but the pipe on the floor below it doesn't have any way for it to accept it. So I think I need to put an obsidian pipe above the pipe we're using here. Otherwise, the items are just going to kind of drop down and probably collect here on the floor. So yeah, well, or I guess what I could do. And here they're coming down right now. We'll just have it meet up, and I put a directional to make sure that the stuff only goes this way. There's all my piping. Oh, I was gonna fall for a sec. Alright, cool. And then I should probably do that on the next floor down. And just go ahead and run pipe all the way from the basement all the way up. That way I'm not having stuff catch on the lip. In which case, on my first floor that I installed here, I'll have to put some piping as well. Alright, well I think this is about as good as I'm going to get it. The way I had it, it couldn't enter in the obsidian pipes from the side. It had to be an open end, so I had to kind of do like wings here, and then using these bricks in this manner kind of helped to narrow the flow down here, so I shouldn't have too many still spots. There are a couple areas where there was like a still spot, but it seems like it was the chance for it to go right directly down the middle is pretty low, so I think I'll be good to go. And then from there I've got the powered golden. Over there we got another powered golden, and I got this now running all the way down. Each one of these has a powered golden right as it comes over there, and of course a directional to prevent anything from coming the other direction. Yeah, so I think this is going to work. So I'm going to go collect me some saplings, load it up, and then we'll see how she performs. Well, for once I almost wish I had more saplings. So I think I'm just going to put like a half a stack in each of these for now. And then I'm going to go through and I'll start collecting more. But once I get these all fully loaded up, then we'll go ahead and step in front of them, test them out. Well, actually, not just test them out, but load them. That first time to get it in there, you gotta set off the dispenser because you have to restate the or reset the state of the block. So it's a nice good way of testing all these as well, making sure they all work. So jump over, and there we go. Okay. Alright, we're going to try ourselves a little experiment here tonight. It's a little too late for me to finish up the walls, so what I'm going to do, I emptied out my hoppers. We got now almost 2 full things of the hemp, 2 full of the sugar cane, on to our 3rd one now of our watermelon. Tons of pumpkins. But yeah, we're empty down here now, so I'm just going to go ahead and tab out in the safety of my basement here. And before I head off to work, I'll go ahead and turn it off so when I come home I can turn it back on and we'll see how much of everything we got, see how much lumber we got compared to our sugar cane and all of our other stuff. So I'm just curious to see how this all turns out. And then after that we'll finish up the wall and that should be a good episode. So alright, well, for you, see you in a sec. Well, I ended up leaving all night and while I went to work, so I just got home. You can see stuff's been collecting at the end. But here we go. We got a stack of wood, 31 saplings. I think that was all the saplings we got for the whole thing, but still not bad. Full inventory of sawdust, and then our usual suspects. A lot of sugar canes over melons. Kind of surprised actually. Usually melons are. Same thing. Sugar cane, melons, wood. Makes me wonder if the sugar cane got changed recently. I got 2 melons here. Again, each one of these has had at least 1 wood. That one had sawdust. That one had sawdust. Again, wood. Got some apples. More wood, more sawdust. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Got 5 stacks of wood. Multiple multiple stacks of hemp. That seems to be our by far biggest producing crop. Wow. But yeah, I think we're doing good. Well, I intended to show you me finishing this, but apparently I forgot to turn the recording off, so when I decided to start recording, I actually turned it off. So it is complete. Got some viewing pane here and here to kind of get a look into it. Went with the raised platform so that I could conceal my piping. I definitely like to conceal things when I can. Also got viewing panes on both sides of it so we can see in here. And then in addition to the door over in the front, I have this door over here. And then we still have access through the back and around. I put the wall there to kind of conceal the redstone from that front pane since that's the one I'll probably look at the most, and it was kind of cool to have that, you know, hidden, concealed. Well, not really hidden, concealed, but just so it wasn't as obvious to see. There we go. Yep, sorry, I guess I can go around the other side. Placed a bunch of torches. Last thing we want is a bunch of mobs spawning in here. And then over here's our other entrance. So all in all, I like it. I think it turned out pretty well. It kind of sucks that it's so much redstone to look at, but that's kind of what we ended up with because of how this is built. So it's all right. Got a nice view of our receptacles, our piping. Also, I'd realized I hadn't put the 1 block divot above each one of these, so I was only 5 high on half of them. and I realized that the 5 high definitely takes longer for one to spawn, so I'll probably get a little bit better results on my next clean out of my hoppers down there. So anyway, next we're going to be putting in our uh, cactus farm here. So I've got some really cool ideas on how I'm going to do this. I've already been playing around with this a little bit in my test world. So that is our next episode. And since the cactus isn't going to take a whole lot of complexity and stuff, and it'll probably be done rather quickly, I may include our cellar. Cellar slash storage. I'm kind of excited about getting this taken care of. So we'll keep the dimensions about the same as what the rest of the building is for the most part, all the way up underneath. Bring our piping the rest of the way down, and then start splitting it off with our diamond pipes to the different directions, and should be able to take like a regular transport pipe and run it all the way down the back side of one of these. That way it'll fill up in order, and then once it's full, hopefully it'll just kind of keep going on to the next row. So I should be able to set up numerous chests and have them just kind of filled automatically, and then as I get, need stuff, I can go check them out later on, but it'll, thanks to the diamond pipes, I can specify a single item for an entire stack of chests, so that's going to be kind of cool. So yeah, that'll be next episode, in addition to the cactus farm. And then of course, I'll wait to see what kind of feedback I get on this, and maybe I can even do a little more of my prettification inside of here. So with that, I am going to call this an episode. Thank you for watching. As usual, please rate, comment, and subscribe. Thumbs up, give me a like if you enjoyed this. Comment, let me know how you think I could better do this, or if you just want to say, hey, great job, or if you have any questions, just give me a comment. I reply to just about everything I see. And if you haven't already, please subscribe so you can be notified of my upcoming episodes. So I guess we'll end this episode as we watch little bits of everything come down our pipes. I think it's pretty cool. So, alright, well, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.